Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. West Ham versus Everton at the London Stadium tomorrow. A massive game for Champions League hopes from both sides. Everything looks a little bit different here today because my laptop's just crashed on me, so on my phone. So we're trying to get that sorted, but it's going to be a little bit different. But we're gonna go with it. So a couple of West Ham fans I've got today. Firstly, Jordan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. West Ham Online, how are you?
Not too bad.
Good. And we are joined by Scott, who is a Everton fan. Scott, how are you?
I'm disappointed in Jordan and United Online's answers. They should be full of beans, shouldn't they? I'm not bad.
Well, I mean, we've had a pretty good season, that's for sure. But we'll get into that in just a second. Let's see who's in the chat. Peach is in, of course. He is my homeboy JAK to the E. I hope you're well, Peach. Mandy says, "Hi, Mandy. Leicester got beat. Spurs got beat. Is it our destiny to get top four?" Well, it's been a pretty good day probably for Everton fans as well, Scott, hasn't it? Because I mean, results are going our way. Yeah. Leeds got one over Spurs. Newcastle thumped Leicester last night. Everything seems to be going our way.
Makes tomorrow interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. I mean, Jordan, it's good results, and I mean, if we can get 3 points tomorrow, it puts us firmly in the race. Because if Man City can get 3 points past Chelsea as well, everything's gone our way this weekend.
I think between now and the end of the season, we've got to win every game. Chelsea need to lose to City, and they need to draw to somebody else, I think, personally. I think we played well against Burnley the other night, but dropping points against Arsenal and Newcastle really sort of... I'd be talking about this slightly differently if we didn't drop points in those games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, West Ham Online, these are the games that we will look at if we're 1, 2, 3 points 1, 2, 3 points off Champions League at the end of the season. These games like Newcastle, these games like Arsenal where we drop points, we'll be looking at these games, won't we?
Yeah. I personally think that we won't catch Chelsea, but I think Leicester are catchable. I think Chelsea are too good now. But Leicester, I think we could probably get away with winning 3 out of 4. If we win tomorrow, we'll be 2 points off Leicester, and their fixtures are considerably harder than ours.
Yeah. People are saying Echo. We're trying to get that sorted. We'll get that. We will get that sorted in a second. Right. But in terms of the game, then Jordan, I'll come to you. Are you confident?
Yes and no, I suppose. Everton are always a bit of a bogey team for us. But I think the way we've been playing at home and the way we destroyed Burnley on Monday, I think it'll be a tight game, but I think we'll win it sort of 1-0, 2-1, I think.
Yeah, that could be decent. West Ham Online, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I personally, I see the Echo's gone as well, which is positive. But I personally think that Everton, they had a really good start to the season. First 4 or 5 games, I was like, Christ, they're good. Since then, they've grinded out some wins, but their overall play has been a bit defensive. I don't think they're brilliant. They're brilliant, I'll be honest. I think they're beatable. I thought when we played them back in December, I think it was, they were quite poor. But I didn't think we were great that day as well, and we grinded out the win on that day. I think we can certainly beat them, and we should, as I said yesterday on Forge from Irons, if we just attack Everton, I think we'll win. I think playing defensive against them is a mistake because Everton aren't the most of attacking teams, especially when they don't have James Rodriguez, who is out tomorrow. And Richarlison hasn't been on top form this season, so as long as we keep Luca Dean, at left back quiet, who I believe's fantastic and arguably their most creative player when James isn't playing, we should be able to beat them, because otherwise I don't see many chances for Calvert-Lewin, because Digne creates a lot of them.
Yeah. And Scott, from an Everton perspective, how are you feeling with the games you've got left, and the running you've got of your chance to get Europe and for the game?
We're doing everything we can not to get into Europe at the minute. Let's be honest. But the problem we've had is Ancelotti bought 4 or 5 great players in the summer, but they've played very few games together. We've suffered with injuries across all of those players. It'll be interesting tomorrow because Doucouré's back. He's been out for 10 games and we've been pretty poor without him. He's been our legs in midfield all season. That will be interesting. Your man at West Ham Online there has pretty much broken us down quite well. James is a different gravy. Best player I've ever seen in an Everton shirt, and I go back to watching for him the early 80s or mid 80s. He's an unbelievable footballer, and his creativity is a joke. So that's a good thing for you. Moyes has done a typical Moyes in January, bringing Jesse Lingard in and turning him into the world's greatest midfielder. He did that at Everton a couple of times with players like Mikel Arteta, with Steven Pienaar back in the day. He's great. So tomorrow, do I fancy us? Not really. If we came away with a point with the way we've been playing, I'd be quite happy. Going on the fact that Spurs got beat yesterday, if we want to be serious about getting into the Europa League, because the Champions League is not going to happen for us, we need to win tomorrow.
Yeah. We will see. I think we've got the echo sorted out, but we'll just have to wait and see. Mandy says Everton will turn up tomorrow after losing to us at home. Yeah, that was a fantastic Souček header, Jordan, wasn't it? To win that, and that I think put us into 4th, and that's when we were starting to go. This is quite interesting, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean it was a shock result that day. Like I said, we traditionally don't do too well against Everton. They're our bogey side, so yeah, we did. It was a good result that day. It's a big result, Everton away. I think in the time I've been raised as a West Ham fan, I think we've beat Everton at Goodison twice before that, and I was lucky to go to one of those games when we had the likes of Arnautovic up front. So
yeah, it was brilliant that day.
That was one of the best away games I've been to, when we smashed them 3-1. We'd gone into the game, I think 4 games we lost in a row. Pellegrini took over, and we turned up, and Yarmolenko double on Arnautovic absolutely smashed them that day. So something like that tomorrow would be lovely.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it would be. Scott, I'll go to West Ham Online first. West Ham Online, who do you fear when you look at that Everton side? I mean, James Rodriguez, we have already mentioned, is out, but who do you fear looking at the Everton side?
The main one is the left back, Luca Digne. As I said, I think the guy's fantastic. I think he's one of the better left backs in the Premier League, and his creativity is almost unmatched when it comes to left backs. Robertson's been a bit off this season, and when Digne's been fit, because a lot of what Scott said I agree with, because they've had a lot of injuries, and most of them to their main players. So when Digne's been fit, I think he's been fantastic. Another player, I think Ben Dumfries been a very good signing. A little bit in and out, of the positions, right back, sometimes he's centre back, sometimes he's left back. But he's shown a lot of. He's different to what else they've got at the back, because he's athletic. He can bring the ball out. Whereas Keane's more of a get it out sort of centre half. So I think he's been fantastic addition from Ancelotti.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this comment here. Think Everton owe us a favour after Di Canio caught the ball. I'm clutching at straws. Yeah, you are. W&P, hope you're well, and everybody in the chat. I hope you are well as well. But Scott, I mean, where do you think Everton have gone wrong this season? Because various Everton fans say, inconsistency, and things like Ancelotti and subs. What do you think's been the main thing gone wrong this season for you? To put you back from playing European football, perhaps.
I don't think it's any of that. I think it's injuries to our main players. If we'd have more consistency with Alan, Doucouré, Dean, James Rodriguez, every time they play together, I think we've won every single game. but they've missed too many games. And just to come back on Jordan a little bit, talking about when he was at Goodison watching West Ham annihilate us, I'll give you about 30 different games where it's been the opposite. Maybe Waz's hat-trick for a 4-0. And one that some of you may remember on this was, I remember being at the old Upton Park in probably 2003, 2004, I think it was, and Nick Barmby scored a hat-trick for Everton. And I was actually in the Bobby Moore stand that day and we won 4-0. So we can all have those games memories.
One word, Scott. Adrian.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the FA Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it about 46-45 in the penalty shootout? It went on for 3 days.
Oh my lord! Yeah. What a penalty shootout that was! That was insane. Mandy says, usually a draw against Everton would be a good result, but we are in such great form and with key players back, I feel so confident. Yeah, I like that comment. Jordan, I'll come to you. You know, the old West Ham. You know, I've been up there to Everton, lost 2-0, awful results, but we're a new West Ham. I think I don't know, but you know, injuries coming back, Creswell back, Antonio, who's back with a bang against in our last game against Burnley. Everything seems to be falling back into place, doesn't it, Jordan?
Oh, absolutely. I think now that we've got Antonio back, I think, you know, Everton should be fearful of him, because I think any defence struggles with Antonio. So the fact we've got him back, we've got Creswell back. And it was nice to see the change in midfield, because obviously Noble didn't play on Monday. So we stuck Lanzini in there with Souček, and it worked really well. I've been thinking for so long they need to stop going so defensive. Let Souček do the defensive side of things. But Ben Rama, Lanzini, Lingard and Antonio show they can link up really well. And I think he doesn't need to change anything. As long as the same players are available, I don't think he should change the team for Everton tomorrow. To just go with the same team again.
No, West Ham online. That was a fantastic attacking performance in the game against Burnley. Declan Rice has now been reported that perhaps he won't be back in time, and he'll be back for the Brighton game. I mean, and I can see Scott smiling slightly there at that. But Scott, I'll come to you about Declan Rice in a second. But Lanzini's got to stay in there. That performance, he can't drop any of them. Kind of in from Souček and Lanzini upwards, can he?
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be unfair to drop the players. I thought the scoreline flattered Burnley on Monday night, and I've been very critical of Lanzini this season. I think every time he's played, he's looked a bit weak. I don't think he is what he was in the final third. His shot seems to have depleted. But I think he was terrific the other night against Burnley. It's probably the best I've seen him play since he returned from his injury. And the question now is consistency, because I saw people comparing him to Luka Modric on Twitter. And if that's not overreactionary, I don't know what is. So he's got to be consistent with this. And I believe Alan is fit to play. I think he has been for a while. So Alan was, again, another good addition from Napoli. So if he can do well against the midfield, including that man, then we have another player who can play in that role, and we won't have to go into the transfer market and secure another midfielder.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive that came out of the Burnley game. But we mentioned it there, Scott. Declan Rice probably not going to be in contention, probably not quite going to make it for the Everton game. That must be a sigh of relief for you. But we've had players back. Antonio made it through the Burnley game without pulling another hamstring. Creswell coming back. All of these players coming back must be a worry for you. But the main man, Declan Rice, isn't though.
I'm not overly concerned about Antonio. I think he's a great player, but I think Ben Godfrey for us at the back has been unbelievable since we signed him, and I would rate him against anybody physically and with pace, which is Antonio's biggest strengths. So that wouldn't be a concern. Declan Rice being out for you is a massive blow. I think the biggest thing for us tomorrow is how fit Decore is. His energy has been a massive miss. If his fitness levels are good enough to drive us up the pitch a little bit more than we have been doing for the last 8 or 9 games, then I can see us possibly nicking a point. I was just trying to think, did we win at your place last season pretty comfortably? Or was that the year before when Bernard scored and Calvert-Lewin?
Last season was a 1-1 draw, but you beat us at home, in your home.
It was the season before. So it'll be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to it, with just mainly to see how Decore plays. If he plays well for us, I fancy us to get a point, especially without Declan Rice. Just on Declan Rice, though, is he your best youth player since Rio and Lampard?
I'll give that. Hang on, 2 seconds. I think I'll give that to Jordan.
Best youth player since, that's a good question. For the standard he is and how young he is, then I would probably say I'd probably agree with that. Like Mark Noble's great, but he's not on the same, Rice is levels above him. But I would probably say that. And yes, I know what you're going to say. It's embarrassing with the Academy of Football, and it's taken us this long to get another youth product through the team. We should be getting youth players through a lot more consistently than what we have been the last few years.
No, I definitely wasn't going to dig you out. I think Declan Rice is unbelievable. And I just think to England in the Euros with Declan Rice, Foden, Mason Mount. I just hope Southgate's has got the kahunas to because I think that is such an exciting midfield for England in the Euros.
Yeah. Let's take some comments. Let's take this course. Ed, all things Leeds. I hope you're well. Arsenal, you're welcome for taking Spurs off your back. Yeah, I did watch that game. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ed. And make sure you go over to subscribe to All Things Leeds as well. Fantastic channel to do with All Things Leeds. Right. Luke says Everton are not Burnley. They have the muscle in midfield to dominate Lansing. West Ham online. Would you agree?
Yeah, they can, but I wouldn't say Burnley don't have muscle in midfield. I think if you ask any fan what Burnley's biggest strength is, it's the fact that they're a strong physical team. So I'm not sure on that one. I think both Burnley and Everton have muscle in midfield, but it's just whether Lanzini will be able to cope with the physical demand in terms of the running, because Decore is up and down that pitch all game if he's available. So yeah, let's hope that he has a good game tomorrow, because I know Souček will be up and down all game, so it will be Lanzini's role to dictate the play, and hopefully he does.
Yeah. Question come in for you, Scott. Is Ben Godfrey quick, and will he start?
I think he'll definitely start. Going from Norwich, he's pretty much every game. Pace wise, probably the quickest defender. I can't think of anybody quicker.
Mandy says, did Joe Cole come through the youth? I mean, that is a debate to have with is he the best youth player to come through in quite a long time? But yeah, and just to mention, Mark Noble saw some sort of flour and egg trick played on him today in training. Happy birthday to Mark Noble, a true West Ham legend, Mr. West Ham's birthday today, so happy birthday to him. West Ham Online, how are you expecting the game to pan out? Do you think we'll have dominance? Because it's going to be interesting.
I think it will be cagey. I don't expect us to dominate. I expect it to be a lot like the last game when we played Everton, but I expect us to be a lot better in the final third than they will be. I'll come to it later in my score prediction, but I think we can hit them on a counter attack with Lingard and Ben Rama. I think there's opportunity to hurt Everton.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Jordan, people have been saying, he's not Burnley. They're not the same as Everton. It's going to be a tough game. But how are you expecting the game to pan out? I mean, saying we've got these attacking players on the pitch like Ben Rama.
I think that what will be a big difference will be Jesse Lingard compared to the last time we played Everton. I think we've got that extra bit of creativity. I don't think it'll be a complete walkover like we did Burnley over Monday. I see it's going to be a tight game. It'll be a one game, one goal game. 1-0 game, 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. This is a question from Mandy. Who would you replace Lanzini with? I don't think he will get replaced. To be honest with you, Mandy, I think he'll stick there because Declan Rice isn't back. So Lanzini's got to stick in there. West Ham Online.
Yeah, he's got to play. He played really well the other night. It would be ridiculous to drop someone who put in the best performance he's put in 2 years. So I think Moyes has a lot of trust in Lanzini, and I think he will play. And as I say, he'll have to cope with physical demands of Alan and Decore. I think he can beat them for skill and passing ability. So hopefully, his lack of physique, if that makes sense, doesn't come back to bite him.
Yeah. Scott, just say to the viewers, how will you expect Everton to line up with a back four, back five? How do you tend to go, or is it with Ancelotti? Anything could happen. Oh, we can't hear you. Is that me? Hang on.
Sorry, that was me. My dog's snoring, so I want to come real. Decore being back out of 1. How do I think the game will go? KG early doors. I think early doors. I think we win. Don't think a point's any good to either of us for ambitions. The only thing I would say from Moyes being our manager in the past, at these stage of the season, he has bottled it on more than one occasion and gone defensively with Everton back in the day. So I'm hoping he'll revert to type and try and eke out a 1-0 win rather than try and blow us out of the water.
Yeah, well, we do definitely know about David Moyes and defensive capabilities, don't we, Jordan? Luke does raise the point by saying I think he will go back to a back five. There's no reason to, is the Burnley performance. There's no reason to go to a back five, is there, Jordan?
Well, I think Moyes has shown. We've on more than one occasion we've gone too defensive, and it's bit us in the backside really. Man United was the prime game in Brighton. So he needs to stop being so defensive. We're the home team. We need to sort of just play exactly how we did on Monday. I know it's not going to be like for like. Everton are a different side, but we've got to take the same mindset, same approach into that game. And just go for it. We've got 4 games to go. We're probably going to get some kind of European football. Obviously, we want Champions League, but it will be annoying to look at the end of the season and go, "Oh, we shouldn't have set up too defensively against Everton," or we want to look back with no regrets. So I think we just got to go for it tomorrow, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we all want to see.
No, it's not.
From a West Ham perspective, from a West Ham perspective, Scott, and I mean you've had David Moyes, you've had a good stint of him in the past, and I think he's still got the same traits now, and he can bottle it and go back to a back five and go defensive, and substitutions as well. You mentioned on this show before that happened at Everton. Sounds very much like the man we've got now.
Yeah, very much so, and it's looking at you this season. You signed Craig Dawson, Jesse Lingard. He's got a couple of bars and stuff like that. It's almost like looking back at Everton back in the day.
Oh, hello. What's happened there? Oh, I think we've lost. Hello.
That's all right.
There we go. I think back. Sorry about that.
Right. No problem. I was just saying he gets the best out of the players that he's got. He's done a magnificent job this season for you guys. I've always had a soft spot for West Ham. I think I've said that on this show before. So if you can get the top 4, I'd be delighted to. I just hope it doesn't mean that you getting the top 4 doesn't stop us from getting top 6 to get in the Europa League, which would be a great season for us this season from where we were. And if we can knock Liverpool down and put them in 7th, that'd be all the sweeter.
Yeah. WMP comes in with a question for you. Says, "What's Everton's weaker player the West Ham can exploit?" I can guarantee you, David Moyes won't watch this, so he won't be sat behind a laptop taking tips about what to do.
Sadly, right back is our weak point these days. Seamus Coleman been a great servant to the club, but ever since he had that double leg break a few years ago, he's never been quite the same player. We desperately need to replace him in the next season, which is sad as a club because he's been a great servant, a joy to watch for years. But that would be our weakest position at the minute. I would be playing Ben Godfrey right-sided centre half tomorrow, and I've been playing Yerry Mean on the left-hand side, and make sure Ben Godfrey's pace covers up Seamus on that right-hand side.
Yeah. Luke comes in with a comment here and says, I fancy any front three we go with can cause them issues. Would you agree, Jordan?
Based on current form, yeah, I think so. I really don't get this stigma with Ben Rama, to be honest. I think he's a great player. I don't know why some fans are so harsh on him, to be honest. I think he does need to score that goal just to give him that extra bit of confidence, but I really think he's the kind of player we need. So I think, yeah, with the way we've been playing on current form, based on the Burnley game, I think, yeah, any front three will cause problems.
Yeah. West Ham Online. Who should Everton fare? Looking in from our perspective to Scott, who should they fare going into the game? I mean, there's so many players, isn't they? You can read them off for us.
I think the main one is Antonio, in my opinion. I think Antonio can cause them a lot of issues. Scott did highlight that Godfrey, and I do agree with him in the fact that he's probably as quick as Antonio. I don't think he's as strong as him, but I think he'll be able to deal with him relatively well. So I think it's important that Antonio targets Yerry Mina, because although Yerry Mina is a strong centre-half and quite a decent centre-half, I think his lack of pace is something that we can exploit, especially on the counter-attack. So I'd say Antonio and Lingard, who, we know what Lingard can do. I think them two are the main players I look at as players who can hurt Everton.
Yeah, I agree. Lewis, who is an Everton fan, I do believe, says, if we play Coleman, Mina, Godfrey and Digne, I don't think you'll score many goals, to be honest. Mandy says, Calvert-Lewin will be dangerous from corners. Yeah. Scott, are you dangerous from corners? Because this, it goes without saying, West Ham, most goals from set pieces in the Premier League. We are a threat from them. Could you be a threat as well from set pieces?
Yeah, definitely. We've scored a lot of goals this season. But again, Hammers is probably taking most of those technicals. So him being out to blow, but doing good looking a decent corner. Just going back to United Online chat around Mina, he's right. His pace is absolutely in deal. If he turns on his slower, he stops. So if you can get him on the turn, that will give you space behind.
Yeah. Lewis says Godfrey is probably quicker than Antonio. I mean, we will see. And by the sounds of it, it sounds like it's going to be a good matchup. But we're going to go on to predictions now. So, guys, in the comments, get your predictions in for the game, and we will read and ask the people on the screen as well. Right then, so I'm going to go with you first then, Jordan. What is your prediction?
I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham.
I like it. West Ham Online?
3-1 West Ham. Antonio at the double.
Confidence, I like it. And come on, Scott. West Ham win on a West Ham channel?
No. To be honest, as I've been thinking, tomorrow might be our day. We're due a good performance. We've not had one for about 7 or 8 games. We're due one. So I'm going to go 2-0 the Blues. Big sign.
We will see. The Everton fan in the chat, Lewis, is saying 1-0 to the Everton. Charlie is saying... Charlie says 2-1 West Ham. 2-1 Hammers. Pgad says 3-2 West Ham with a nervous win. I could see that. I could see that with a nervous win. To be fair, 3-2 was what was on my mind, so I probably should have said mine before I read out Pgaz's comment, but I've got to switch it up now. I'm going to go, what should I go for? 3-2 was in my mind, so that's what I'm going to go for. 3-2 West Ham. I think we might see a late winner again, perhaps, but we will have to wait and see. Let's take some more predictions then. W&P says back to 3-2 West Ham win. Lewis says we are good against the big sides. What's that there? But away form is cracking. Lawrence is in. Hope you well. You've just caught the end. Hello from the US of A. There's lots of 3-2s and 2-1s coming in predictions, and Lawrence has joined the 2-1 club. But from the three of you on the screen, any last words about the game tomorrow?
I'd like to say I'll be shocked if we lose. I just can't see us losing, which I'm not going to lie, will probably come back to bite me. We'll probably lose 6-1. But I really do think after watching both sides a lot lately, we're definitely the favourite. I'll say that for sure.
Yeah. Jordan, any last words?
I just sort of echo those words, really. I think I'd say we're slight favourites. Just for me personally, I'm always worried when we play Everton. You've just got to look at the results in past history, but hopefully it's different now. But the way we're playing, it's going to be a good game. We will score regardless of the result. We are firing on all cylinders. We've just got to keep them out at the other end, and I think that would be the difference. How well we defend.
And finally, from the Everton perspective, then Scott, final words.
Well, I'm going to sit on the fact that we do beat you quite often. I'm going to enjoy the game. I'm hopeful you will be eating your words. But what I will say is genuinely hope that just outside of the game tomorrow that West Ham do make top 4 this season, because I think you played some great football. It'll be great to see one of the smaller sides up there, and then we'll take the place next season.
Yeah,
like Everton.
Smaller sides. Well, there you go. We're not in the greedy 6, are we? That's for sure. Luke says, could be the world's dullest 0-0. Oh, come on, Luke. Sorry, like, no, don't worry, Lawrence. Not at all. Come on, you Irons, indeed. Let's have a look here. Scott was the best guest in a Liverpool is Blue show back along. Yeah. That Liverpool fan got a bit stitched up there. That was for sure. But but anyway, thank you very much for watching. What's this here? I'm going to put West Ham online in full screen here. Bowen over Richarlison. Everything's eaten up now. But thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you very much to Jordan, to West Ham Online, and to Scott for joining me.
Pleasure. Enjoy the game, guys.
Pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you. Come on, you Irons, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.